What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another review, and this time we're taking a look at Finding Dory, the sequel to Finding Nemo. Finding Dory tells the story of the titular character who is on a quest to find her long-lost parents that she was separated from at a very, very young age. Okay, that's the overall story of Finding Dory. Let's briefly go this review. Overall thoughts, I enjoy Finding Dory. I like this movie a lot. I don't think it's as good as Finding Nemo, but that doesn't mean that Finding Dory is bad either. This movie is a lot of fun. A lot of the cast members from that first movie make their return in this movie, and they're just as good in this as they were in that. Ellen DeGeneres as Dory. I liked her more in this time around than I actually liked her in Finding Nemo. Maybe because in this movie Dory actually has a character. In this movie, Dory goes through more character moments, and she has moments to be more emotional, and we get a chance to know Dory's history, and we actually see, where Dory comes from. We see how being lost, being separated from her parents affected her, and things like that. And we get to know Dory more as a character, and we also get to see how her relationship with Marlin and Nemo has came to be within the year of meeting one another. This movie takes place a year after the events of Finding Nemo. So I liked seeing all that. I thought Ellen DeGeneres was really good in the role. Like in that first movie, I thought Dory can come across as a little bit of annoying in a lot of areas, but in this one, I liked her. I liked her more as a character. And I thought DeGeneres did a really good job at pretty much being the focal point of this film. So I really don't got any complaints with DeGeneres' performance in this movie at all. I like the chemistry that she had with Albert Brooks in that first movie, which helped a lot. In this movie, it's the same. Though they don't really get to share a whole lot of screen time together since pretty much once the movie begins, Dory is already on the quest to find her parents, and we get introduced these new characters of Destiny and Bailey, a whale shark and a beluga whale. The whale shark, of course, being one of Dory's long-lost friends, and the beluga whale, voiced by Ty Burrell, who I thought was actually really, really funny in this movie. As Dory is trying to find her parents, she goes to like this sea aquarium, this Life Institute, which is where she ultimately came from. This is where we get introduced to the new crop of characters. Like I said, I already mentioned Destiny and Bailey, who are two characters. Destiny, who was a character that I liked a little bit. Bailey's a character who I thought was hilarious. And then you have Hank the Octopus, who I thought was funny, voiced by Ed O'Neill. Does a really good job at making Hank sound like this grouchy, just get away from me type old man type of guy. I thought that stuff was fun. So yeah, like the new characters I thought were really well introduced. The returning characters, like I said, Marlin, once again voiced by Albert Brooks. He was good in this movie. There's a new voice actor who is playing the Nemo character, since the original child actor is now all grown up. But I thought the replacement for Nemo was really good. Captured the same spirit as the original actor did. I think I would have had this movie take place more. Whatever. The actor who played Nemo was fine. I got no complaints about that. The overall story I enjoyed a lot. I like the inclusion of Eugene Levy and Diane Keaton as Dory's parents. I like the flashback scenes that we see with them, and I love the scene where Dory finally reunites with her parents. It's such a touching moment, and such a really good scene that's really going to hit you in the feels. And I thought that Diane Keaton, Eugene Levy, and Ellen DeGeneres acted that scene out perfectly. Like, for a movie about talking fish, a lot of emotional depth and a lot of emotional drama in this thing. So I enjoyed it immensely. Like the overall story of this movie is actually really good, and a lot of the characters in this movie, they're a lot of fun, especially the new inclusions. You get these two sea lions voiced by Dominic West and Idris Elba, who I thought were absolutely hilarious, who have this running gag of trying to trick this other sea lion named Gerald to going on the rock. Then they chase him off after like a couple of seconds. I thought that running gag was really, really fun, and I think you could have done more with the characters of those characters as well. But this movie, but as a running gag, I thought it worked. In terms of the animation style for this movie was made in 2016, and the animation style is a big leap when compared to the 2003 movie. The animation in this movie looks much more realistic. It's much more polished, much more cleaner, much more vibrant, and it looks absolutely fantastic. Now, this movie takes place primarily more on land as opposed to the ocean, and I'll give the movie credit for changing the scenery a little bit by having it take place in an aquarium and not retreading water for the ocean. Though some of the ocean sequences can be really cool, especially the scene where Marlin, Nemo, and Dory are being chased by this big humble squid. Like, that scene was really, really thrilling, and there's a nice little callback to when they get attacked by the three sharks. There's a big crap of my boys, Brucey, Chum, and my boys, the three sharks. They're nowhere to be found in this movie. Not even barely. They're referenced, but we don't see them. Where are they? I love those characters. They could have been. Why couldn't we seen them in the beginning of this movie and at the end of this movie? Like, the three sharks are like nowhere to be found. After Dory is clear at the end of Nemo, she became very, very friendly with them. Where are my three sharks? Those are my three favorite characters, and I would have loved to have seen them in this movie. They're nowhere to be found, which is a shame. But yeah, that's gripe number one. But animation, no complaints. The animation looks absolutely spectacular, and I like the scenery change. It adds another dimension to the overall story to the overall universe by going out of the ocean into different areas. Not only we're out of the ocean, we're out of Australia, and now we're in California. And I like the whole running joke of Dory thinking that the voice of Sigourney Weaver is her friend. I thought that was actually pretty funny. And I think the movie had a big opportunity, but missed it, to actually have the real Sigourney Weaver voice an actual character in this movie. I thought that would have been cool. That's just my opinion on that. That's just my thoughts on that, to be honest with you. Oh yeah, another gripe I have with this movie are the Tank Gang. The Tank Gang don't appear in this movie until the post credits as a gag, pretty much. Like, why couldn't they be in this movie also? Like, and have more of a role in this movie also? They're like barely in. They're really in there as a gag in the post credits. Gil, the Blowfish, Flo. Like, come on, those are cool characters who helped Nemo a lot in that first movie. Why couldn't they be in this one to help out Dory a little bit, or be included into the community? Instead they just come across the post-credit scene gag. But it is what it is, I guess. But yeah, my two real big complaints are really the exclusion of the Shark Gang and the exclusion of the Tank Gang, because I think those characters could have been cool to see all peppered all throughout the movie. But what this movie does get right, it gets the story right, it gets the inclusion of these new characters right. They make them very, very likable. I like the whole idea of Dory and Destiny being these pipe buddies who never met each other until they get older. I thought that was cool. I like the character of Bailey having echolocation, but claims he can't use it because he has a concussion. I thought that running gag was really funny. Hank, the grumpy octopus, I thought was a lot of fun. The entire third act, I think, is completely ridiculous and over the top, and you really got to suspend your disbelief with that, even for an animated cartoon about underwater animals, because the whole climax takes place on a freeway, which is completely goofy and over the top, like I mentioned. It ain't gonna beat that climax from Finding Nemo. That was a thrilling climax. The climax in this is a little too over the top for me, and really, even though they're animals, I'm having a hard time suspending my disbelief for it. But as an overall package, I do recommend Finding Dory. I do like this movie, and give it a watch. It's a good sequel to a really good first movie, which is why, at the end of the day, Finding Dory for me gets a solid 8 out of 10. Those are my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comment sections down below. Like the video and subscribe, and I'll check you back next time for more.